Hey everyone, Coach Mark here, and before I dive into today's topic, make sure to follow me over on Instagram as Coach Mark Estrubio. Also, I offer one-to-one coaching. It's what I do full-time and the odds are very good. I'd love to work with you. With that being said, let's get into it. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about my top 5 accessory lifts for the Strongman that you can do in any commercial gym. Now, when it comes to programming for Strongman, being in a commercial gym is often seen as a bit of a liability, and the truth is, it can be. But with a little creativity, you can probably get about 80 to 90% of the way there. Here's some movements that you might find very useful. Also, I will link down in the description box below a link to my program Strongman Going Commando, which is a full commercial gym Strongman program. So the number one movement that I recommend for any commercial gym goer who is wanting to go to Strongman or a Strongman who is stuck in a commercial gym is the Snatch Grip RDL. This is one I've been talking about at length lately. This is incredible not only for improving your deadlift via improved hinge mechanics and upper back strength, but it has a lot of carryover to loading events, especially that pick phase. Additionally, that improved thoracic spine extension will help you in terms of your overhead press performance because you're going to be able to extend your upper back rather than relying on overextending your low back and thus generating excess low back fatigue, which will often become a bit of a liability because after your press, you'll probably have a deadlift, probably have a moving event, and then some sort of loading event. So if we can strengthen the mid and upper back to take more of the brunt of that force, you're going to do better off overall. And well, the Snatch Grip RDL is a great movement for that. Your goal here is you want to build to about double body weight for sets of 5 to 8. Also, don't be afraid to use straps. Number 2 is going to be a seated behind the neck press, and this is done seated without back support. So you're going to be sitting on either a flat bench or a plyo box, anything like that. This is an incredible all-around pressing developmental tool. And if we look at the Strongman press, typically done with a log or a push press with leg drive, there's quite a bit of layback. You're getting that thoracic and sometimes lumbar spine extension, whereas a seated BTN press does not allow you to use much of an excessive arch in your low back. So this helps you focus in more on pure delt and tricep strength, which develops your press long term. Your goal here is you want to build to about 80% of your body weight for sets of 5 to 8. This is one I like throwing in as either a max effort lift when I'm in a more developmental phase or doing it after I'm done with my push pressing for the day. Number 3 here is going to be a leg drive barbell row. So this is the simple bent over barbell row done with a little bit of body English to help get the weight moving. This one's going to be a very good deadlift developer. It will also help with the pick, especially on loading events, as well as building enough upper back and mid back musculature to support you during those moving events. All around, just a very good, useful exercise. Don't lose the plot here. We just want to use enough leg drive to help get the bar moving out of the bottom, but the star of the show should be your upper and mid back. Don't be afraid to use straps here. Over time, your goal will be long term to build a 1 1/4 body weight for sets of 5 to 8. Number 4, incredibly simple yet highly effective. That's going to be the deadlift bias leg press. So what I mean by deadlift bias is you're going to be using a deadlift stance, and if you have the ability to, if you can set the stops on your leg press, have it stop you slightly below where your starting position would be in terms of knee and hip bend in your conventional deadlift. So think of it as the position would emulate what a deficit deadlift looks like. By doing it that way with that slight dead stop and a deadlift stance, it's going to have a ton of carryover to your deadlift leg drive to help improve your speed off the floor. Now, if you are in more of a muscle building phase, more of an off-season base kind of period, then you might consider doing it without the stops and just think smooth piston-like action to maximize time under tension for those quads, not even locking out all the way, but stopping just short so you never lose that tension in the quadriceps. Your goal here is honestly just get to the point where you're going really heavy with quality form. It's one of those things where I can't give you an exact weight because, well, every machine loads a little bit differently. And last but not least is number 5. We're going to do a Turkish get-up. And with this, you do not need to use a kettlebell, just use a dumbbell. Especially in most commercial gyms, they may not have enough kettlebells for you to go as heavy as you want. I've also just found for folks who are newer to the movement, the dumbbell is a little easier to work with. At Days In, we're doing these to get better at Strongman, not to get good at the Turkish get-up for kettlebell sport. So that's just something to keep in mind. This is a really good overall shoulder, hip, and core mobility / stability exercise. This will also help you if you're in prep with a circus dumbbell or you have a show with it down the road, just for that shoulder positioning as well as helping shore up some of the asymmetries that you can get over time. from something like a circus dumbbell, since you're probably only really working super heavy on one side at a time, unless you are running a more specific off-season protocol. But circus dumbbell programming is a whole video in itself. Heck, it's probably a whole series in and of itself. Regardless, with the Turkish get-up, your long-term goal is you should build to the point where you can do roughly 30% of your best log push press for a Turkish get-up on each side. I only do 2 or 3 at a time of these for a couple rounds at most. And what we have here is a sample week of programming and what that might look like for someone who wants to implement these movements into their training week. I've also gone ahead and used that 1-1-2 split that a lot of you have been very curious about in this, just to help add a little more value, shall we say. So if we look at day 1, that's our lower intensive day. Across a 3-week wave, we're going to do a Zercher squat to either a 5, 4, or 3 rep max, a snatch grip RDLs using the 2RD8 approach, a deadlift bias leg press, some walking lunges, and pull-ups using a density approach. Upper intensive, we're going to do a BTN press to a 10, 8, or 6 RM across our 3-week wave. Close grip bench press, 2RD10 method, a 1-arm dumbbell row, some Lou raises, and tricep press downs. Then on our full body developmental day, we're going to start with some front squats, doing more of kind of a speed emphasis there. That helps prime the legs as we move into our push press. Then you'll do a leg drive barbell row, some back extensions, abs of choice. And then our 4th day of the week, remember in a 1-1-2 split, your 4th day is meant to be a lower intensity day. This is kind of where you just attack little gaps in your program. We'll do some 60 to 70 degree dumbbell incline, some dips, howling 30s, which if you aren't familiar with that, that's 3 overhead tricep extensions and then 3 dumbbell shoulder presses. So 3 plus 3 is 6, right? You're just going to go back and forth on that until you hit 30 total reps. So 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3, so on and so forth. Some hammer curls, and then Turkish get-ups, 5 rounds of 1 each side. Again, good, simple overall week here across a 3-week wave. This would make for a very, shall we say, productive training cycle. So pretty quick and basic video today. I just wanted to share 5 useful accessory movements for the commercial gym strongman or the commercial gym goer who wants to become a strongman. Overall, these movements are really great for developing a lot of the things, the attributes that you're going to need to be successful in the sport without adding a ton of training time. They're just good Swiss Army knife movements all around. And I hope you find it useful. Let me know if you have any comments or questions down below. And also tune in next week where I'll be talking about the training cycle of one of my strongman athletes we used to help him win first place at his most recent competition. Again, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.